Hey there, everybody. Thanks for showing up, and hello to everyone watching the replay. So this is the launch for my new community, I was almost going to say the old community, the new community, the Storyteller's Inner Circle. And the reason that I called it this is because we're all about the storytelling, and then since it's an inner circle, it's a lot closer knit, meaning you get a lot more support from me, my team, and from one another. So it's great in that sense. And I'm going to share a little bit of my documents with you so you get a look inside of what I'm talking about. So this is just a little bit of a slide to give you more of an idea. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of backstory on me, I know many of you already know me, but this is for the ones that don't. So I wrote an international bestseller, and that's what it is right there, The Wandering Heart. And this was international bestseller in four countries and then 7 categories in each country. And that didn't just happen. That happened because I worked my butt off on making it a reality. Plus, I was working with an independent publishing company that also helped with the promoting side of things. So next to that, you see the voices of 100 women. And I was filmed in a TV series that was all about the 100 women that wrote books. And this is with She Rises Studios, the independent publishing company that I went with. So it was just another way to get my visibility out there and show my authority. And then next to that one, you can see the image of my book, and then it says paperback now available. So I got a plethora of these different kinds of images when it came to promoting my book. And I got that from the independent publishing company. But you can definitely make those on your own. It just helps when you're not using the same image over and over and over again, because your audience can get sick of that. And it's nice to mix it up a little bit. So here, this is just a generalized view of a book timeline. So the difference between this or the paid and the freed is this is all that you get to see in the freed. And in the paid community, I go into so much more detail with each of these, and I show you steps. So for instance, for month 1, it's all about planning and pre-writing. And this is where you're doing like the outline of your book. You're figuring out how you want to have your, like the themes or the foundation of your work. And it helps you decide on like what kind of structure you want to make with this. Are you going to do like a 3-act structure? Are you going to do some other kind of story structure? Are you just going to do like beginning, middle, end, and just kind of wing it? Just see how it feels for you and how your writing style works with that. And then I'm going to be here every step of the way, because we're going to have weekly meetups with everyone that joins this inner circle. And then that's when we're going to even go more in depth on it. And I also make a book timeline that's personalized for each individual. So like, for instance, there's someone that's already written 5 chapters. Well, they're already further along. So I would help them more with like self-promoting through the whole process, or there are other different steps that I can help them with. So when we move to month 2, this is when the writing starts and the promotion. And I know a lot of people are just like, what do you mean already promoting? I barely even know what I'm writing. Well, this is the best time to start. And the reason why is because your audience or your future audience, they want to be there with you every step of the way. They want to see your struggles. They want to see your wins, and they want to see if you can actually accomplish this book that you've been talking about. And it also helps give hype to that book that you're wanting to make a reality and publish. And then we go into month 3. This is finishing the first draft. Yes, at month 3, because this is halfway there to month 6 and it seems a bit intense, but you can definitely make it happen. This just means that you have to be more on top of how much you write daily or how much time you dedicate towards making this book. And that's a huge reason why I believe this community is for the people that are truly wanting to get their book published and they know they need that extra hand, because I break down each month and we meet up weekly. You meet the other group members. I have so many more meetings throughout that help you, especially like with accountability, focus. It helps you gain clarity. I have a bunch of videos that you can just look into that gives you more perspectives. If you're planning on self-publishing, I have a masterclass that breaks that down into steps, making it a lot easier and digestible and understandable. So back to the book timeline. Month 4 is when it comes down to the editing. So this is when you're deciding on if you're going to have a professional editor. If you have an independent publisher, they usually have that for you. And this is also where you're going to be doing your own editing as well. And if you've already had your one-on-one with me, you already know a bunch of these steps that are involved in this. Just when we are having more of a inner circle, that's when I can help you specifically with these steps and like with helping you find an ARC team. So that'd be like the ARC readers. And I also have a bunch of links and places that you can go to get beta readers and ARC readers. And so then we look at month 5, and this is the publishing prep, the ARC reviews and promotion setup. So this is just getting you prepared for month 6 for the promotion and the publishing. And the ARC reviews, these are good to get at this time because this is when you can start promoting your book with the reviews. So you already have people that are excited about what they just read and they wrote a review for you. And it also helps gain that authority right away with what you've written. And then we have the wonderful month 6. That's the book launch, and you start promoting. Yes, congratulations, you did it. So throughout this whole process, this just gives you a generalization. It doesn't mean that you have to do this all in 6 months. You can do it at 8, 10, 12, whatever feels best for you. And I'm going to work making the timeline that works best for what you're wanting it for. Yeah. And then this is, yeah. So I'm going to be there every step of the way, like I said, and then there's everyone else in here. So now I'm going to show you the next one, promoting timeline. So if you go with the year plan, that's when you get this promotion package involved in it. And it's amazing because for the next 6 months after publishing, you have to focus on promoting because it's not just magically going to become a bestseller. It's not magically going to have all these things happen. You still have to work towards it. Even if you have a publishing company, I highly recommend to promote it yourself as well. And so like, this is just like the book timeline is just promote timeline, and I also personalize it for you. So like month 7 is launch and immediate visibility. So like this is where you're getting all that hype from your book just getting out and you're just excited, doing all the posts, doing all the things, getting people to know and showing your accomplishment. And yeah, it's a great feeling inside of you. Now, month 8 is when you start expanding your reach. This is when you're thinking of, what else can I do? I could probably do some book signings. I can do this or that. I can work with this person or go on podcasts, whatever it may be for you. I have a podcast list of all the podcasts that I've been on, which I've been on like 40 plus now. And so I have their links and ways to connect to them. because, you know, being on a podcast, it's not the podcaster that's looking well, that are choosing specific people. It's usually that going back and forth. So like the guests for podcasts can reach out to podcasters and vice versa. So that's just how that usually works. Month 9 is building thought leadership and authority. And this is where you are grounding yourself into what you wrote about in your book, showing your authority, showing that your visibility is all over the place, and that gains you that authority as well. And I help you with all this on the way because I'm going to give you steps and tools throughout it, links, places to connect with. We can also start working towards, oops, hold on a second. We can also start working towards, there we go. Okay, we can also start working towards getting, oh no, I can't remember. Yes. Okay. We can also start working towards creating those book awards, like working towards getting those. And I have a list of those as well. So I have a plethora of tools to help you when it comes to the promoting, plus the book timeline as well. And then we go to month 10, the scaling with paid promotion and collaborations. So doing all this helps you realize that the connection with others is vital with getting your book out there. And it also helps you realize that this isn't all on your shoulders. You can get help from other people. You don't have to go with the paid promotions. You can just do like collaborations. And it's usually best to do collaborations with someone that aligns with you, that you feel like would be a good fit for the story that you have written. Then we go to month 11, and this is the long-term brand growth and community engagement. So over all of this, since I'm going to have it more personalized and structured for you throughout it, it's good to know that I have wins through it as well. So I have like 24-hour wins, 7-day wins, and 30-day wins. So it helps you get that boost of happiness, an adrenaline boost. And so you realize that, yes, I can still keep doing this. Plus, like I'd mentioned, we have a bunch of weekly calls. There's also the writing circle, which is kind of similar to co-working. And it's just like, it helps you stay consistent and accountable for yourself and what you want to truly do. And so like, you really have to think about, am I ready to invest in myself? Is this my priority to get this book out here? Because getting a book out there, it can help you tremendously. You got to think of like, what are my goals with this book? And when you're thinking of that, do you want to start becoming a speaker, getting on stages, talking in front of people because of the message you have? Do you want to turn your book into a movie? Do you want to get it to become a bestseller, a New York Times bestseller, get book awards? Like, you have to think of all these things. And if you truly want this to happen, it helps having a great team on your back. And I would love to be able to support you on that journey. And so, yeah, so month 12 is the sustaining momentum and planning for the future. And so, like I said, you got to think of those goals of like what you want to come from writing this book. Because there are a lot of use their book more as like a calling card or a business card in a way. So it's like it kind of gives their clients or the people that start getting to their world a look into their world and know about them and see that they have authority in this specific topic. And this is the same for like many different kinds of books. It doesn't have to be that specific genre. It could be like a fantasy book. It can be a children's picture book, because you gain authority when you get visible out there. You gain authority when you keep showing up. So it's super important. And then, yeah, so your story truly does matter. So you should definitely get it out there. And I would love to be there to help you on the way. So now we're going to wrap it up. with my new community, Storytellers Inner Circle. And just to let you all know that I'm only going to have 10 people in here because I want to see how many people I can hold space for and be able to give them as much support that I truly want to give without feeling burnt out. And so like, this is all about you having this as your priority and truly realizing how beneficial it is to have this accomplishment out there and to be able to turn this into a tool to help you further yourself. And so like, I'm going to help you stay focused with the 6-month book launch framework. And that's just what we went over. And then there are problems that will be solved when we have our weekly group coaching with myself. Then you also get to stay accountable, and that's with the weekly writing circles. Then you can also work on brainstorming, getting ideas from one another at the weekly creativity calls, gain clarity with the video training vault, and then you can also learn how to self-publish with the self-publish masterclass. And then we go down here, and there is the kickoff call with me when you first join. And we can't forget the community of writers and how priceless that is, because something that I think many of us tend to forget is it is so vital to be surrounded by people that you want to be similar to or that are like-minded to you. Like, they're all aspiring writers. They all are working on creating their book. So it's really helpful to be surrounded by that. So you get that backup support. People can feel a little lonely on the writing journey, but you have all of these people right there for you, and they truly understand because they're going through it themselves. So so just the self-published masterclass alone, I would say that's like $5,000, $4,000, because when I self-published, I had no idea what I was doing. And that's exactly as much I spent. I spent like $5,000. So it's good to know a little bit of these tricks and tools here and there to help alleviate that a bit. And so all of this together is $99 a month, which that's nothing. That's so cheap. It helps you realize that, hey, this for a whole year would be $1,200, which, I mean, like, you already know that I spent $5,000 on self-publishing a children's picture book. So it's like no brainer to do this because you get all the help the whole way through. But I have an annual plan that I'm doing. And with that, it means that it would be $7.99. So that's 32% saved. And you also get that 6-month book promotion package that I went over in the slides. Plus, you also get more coaching with me for 4 more times. Then there's going to be the chapter editing package with my team and myself. So I only have this open for 9 more members, and I am going to have another surprise. So I'm going to have, for 24 hours, I'm going to have this up, and for the 24 hours, it's going to be $500 for the whole year. So I'm knocking it down even more because I truly want to help the ones that I know are ready for it. And maybe the money is stopping you, but think of the future. Think of the future you and this accomplishment you can do truly with this, and how much of a difference it could make, and all the people that you can help with getting your story out there. But yes, so I'm going to leave that up for 24 hours, and it will be on Storyteller's Inner Circle, and I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.